Blame it on the rain, yeah, yeah. Blame it. You guys know that song. Whenever it rains, which it currently is, it makes me feel like singing my favorite rain songs. Milli and Vanilli, late 80s. Eddie Rabbitt. Eddie Rabbitt? I love a rainy night. And let's see. I was trying to think of some earlier. The Eurythmics. Here comes the rain again. And I want everybody to think of their favorite song with the word rain in the lyrics or anything about rain. Umbrella, umbrella, umbrella. But that's not the one I was thinking about. And then we're going to yell it out at the same time on the count of 3. And let's see if we match. I bet you do. I bet we do. Ready? 1, 2, Purple Rain. If you don't know who sings that song, shame on you. All right. Hey, today, we're going to talk about something really important. And what I really like about this lesson is it's actual real math that we use in real life. Sometimes we get caught up in doing some math stuff and we're like, when are we ever going to use this? And the teacher says, you need to know it for the test. And you go, okay, well, this is actual stuff we get to use. I use some of this when I build things and maybe in some landscaping projects. Obviously cooking, if somebody ever told you you can't compare apples to oranges, that's not true. Of course you can compare apples to oranges. So maybe you make a famous fruit salad and people want to buy it from all over the world, but you have exactly the right amount of apples to oranges. And if you have too many apples compared to the oranges, then people are going to go, oh, I don't like that ratio because that's not how it tastes when I bought it over here. So you have to make sure the apples to oranges is consistent, okay? So that's also when you would use ratio. You could use it in business, okay, comparing things. So I don't normally get into too many sort of definitions. I like just to sort of speak math as if like normal humans understand this, but these are important. So, and they're not super complicated. They kind of look the same, but there's a little slight differences between all of them. So write these down. I'm gonna give them a quick little explanation. I got a few little problems we're gonna do. We're gonna call it a day because we're just gonna kind of just dip our toe and then we're gonna get into proportions and some of these other things. Okay, the difference between a ratio and a rate. We're comparing two things, so that's similar. But when you get to a rate, it's different units, okay? So a ratio, and here's how you read them, by the way. This is the one, you're gonna see it written like this, like 98% of the time. 2 to 3, 2 per 3. For every 2 of these or 3 of these, 2 to 3, 2 to 3. Okay, so all of these are ratios, and that's how it's read. 2 to 3, 2 per 3. And we'll get more into that in a bit. So, what makes a rate different? A rate is a ratio, but the units are different. So what that means is we're going to compare a number to a number, but we're going to compare miles per hour. That's how this is read. We all know, like when someone says, I'm going 80 miles per hour, well, that's pretty fast. If you're going 25 miles per hour, okay, you're driving by a school. And it just means if you're going 25 miles per hour, in 1 hour, you go 25 miles. And say you stay at that exact same rate for 2 hours, you go 50, okay? You also can compare words per minute. Maybe that's how fast some of you talk. Oh boy. Or it could be how fast you type, words per minute. And then obviously dollar per pound. So that's how food, a lot of food is how you pay for that, right? Not like bags of chips, but for example, if you buy meat, or if you go to a farmer's market, they weigh it for every pound. So again, that's why these are really important. Okay, so a rate is a ratio. It just has different units, and it's usually read per. Dollars per pound, words per minute. Okay, this one's probably the most important. The unit rate is a rate, but here's the thing. It's the rate for one something. And the reason why it's really important to have one something, because it's easier to compare one something to one something. So say you were doing an assignment like, I don't know, the amount of sugar in everyday drinks. If you wanted to know which one had more sugar, well, sometimes you buy a bigger soda, a smaller soda, and you're gonna say, well, that one has more sugar. Well, not necessarily, it just has more sugar because it's a bigger container. The way you would compare any sort of drink, its sugar content is very simple. You have to find the unit rate. And the unit probably would be 1 ounce because drinks come in ounces. So like an ounce is a shot glass, right? Shot glass, woo! Right? Dr. Pepper, fill it up. Boom. If you have a 12-ounce can of Dr. Pepper and you had a 1-ounce shot glass, you would pour 1 ounce in and down the hatch 12 times, you're done with your drink. So if you can find the amount of sugar in a 1-ounce shot glass of this drink and a 1-ounce shot glass of that drink, and which one has more sugar, that's the sugar your drink, okay? So that's why it's really important. So, for example, that's why that Costco is so, that's why a lot of people like to go to Costco. Me personally, I don't get to go to Costco anymore. I actually had my Costco card snipped up by my wife, because when I go to Costco and I see these big, gigantic boxes and tubs of stuff, I can't help but buy it because I kind of do some math and I go, oh my gosh, the unit rate. So the final straw was a couple weeks ago. I went into Costco and I bought the bucket of mayo. It was like a thing of mayonnaise that was like this big. And it was like $10. And I was like, I went to the grocery store like a little while ago and I bought this like small container of mayo for like $6. And I went, this thing's like 1,000 times bigger. I have to buy the bucket of mayo. So it was pretty not really a good choice, because she sent me to Costco to get a rotisserie chicken. But then when I came home, the bill was for like $397. And the cart was filled with bucket of mayo and all sorts of stuff. She says, 1, we have nowhere to put that. And 2, nobody in this house eats mayonnaise, including me. And I didn't really think about that. I just got so excited about, I don't know, just how cheap per unit it was. I couldn't like get over the fact that if I just poured like this bucket of mayo into these little shot glasses, there'd be like 1,000 ounces in this thing. So I got really excited about that. Okay, so the unit rate, what makes it easier is you compare 1 to 1. That way our brains can calculate which is more and which is less. Okay, so that's really important. All right, we're only going to do a couple examples. This is just sort of dip our toe. Normally I like chuck these and do a whole thing, but I feel like I'm going to leave these up, even though I'll probably be standing in front of it. I don't even know if you guys can see this. Okay. All right, so these are the only examples we're going to do today. We're going to find the unit rate. The unit rate is to find 1 something, okay? So I was trying to use examples for me, right? I wanted to use math in real life. When I sit on the couch and I pull up Netflix, and you can go down for all the different like things, movies for you and whatever, and then you can go to the right. Boo, 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 boo. I was counting the other day, just I wanted to figure out the unit rate. I can do 126 scrolls in 3 minutes. Sometimes you stop a little longer because they give you a little, whatever, synopsis of whatever you're watching. Sometimes you just know you're not going to watch it. So to find the unit rate. So if I want to say, hey, I can scroll quicker than you can, and you go, no, you can scroll quicker than I can, and you say you can do 598 in 7 minutes. I don't know what's more, that or this. So the way we're going to figure it out is who can figure it out 1 minute, okay? So really, they're fractions. But here's the trick. You have to make sure to always, this entire unit, when we do ratios and we compare apples to oranges, if apples are here, apples have to be here. You have to always write what you're comparing. Okay, I sort of abbreviated scrolls to minutes. Now, for 1 minute, we want to find out per 1 minute. So if we divide 3 by 3, that's 1 minute. Okay, then we have to divide this by 3, okay? 3 goes into 12 4 times, 42, okay? All right, so what that means is, in 1 minute, I average, my unit rate is 42 scrolls per 1 minute. Not bad. I know you can go quicker, but I stop once in a while. That's generally about my attention span, 42 to 1. I don't know if that's good or bad, and I don't even know what would be good or bad. I don't know if those words even apply. Okay, that's the unit rate, 1. Now, I did a little trial the other day. I discovered these a few months ago. I hate the pickle popcorn. I love pickles and I love popcorn. The pickle popcorn is disgusting. However, the greatest food on the history of the planet is the pickle potato chips. Those are so good. So I dorked out. I looked at the nutrition label. It said there was like 6 servings. I think it was 13 chips per serving. Really? 13 chips per serving. So the dogs and I were sitting on the couch, 2 dogs, 2 cats. These usually don't last because I also have 2 teenagers. So I wanted to find out, I could eat, it was me and the dogs, we ate 78 chips. That's how much a bag is. It seems kind of small. They are smaller than a bigger chip bag. How many chips, what's the unit rate per 1 minute? You always want to put the 1 on the bottom. It just kind of makes it easier that way. Again, 78. I'm gonna go pickle chips. Now you can write it out if you want. 4 minutes, okay? 78 pickled chips per 4 minutes. Oh, I need a calculator, although I don't have a calculator, so I'm just gonna have to use my brain. I kind of did these earlier, but okay, so we just divide this by this. So 78 divided by 4, right? If you make this 1, 78 divided by 4, oh boy, 15. So 78, I don't know why I said 15. 78 divided by 4, okay? 4 into 78. 1, 38, 9, 4 times, what is that, 9? 9 is 36, and I think it's going to be 2 fourths, 19 and a half. 19 and a half, if I had more space, you should always have more space than this. 19 and a half pickle chips in 4 minutes. I think that makes sense because 20 times 4 is 80. A half times 4 is 2, and then, yeah, I think that's right. 19 and a half pickled chips in 1 minute. I feel like I should be able to eat more than that, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see. And they're never like 78 chips anyways. You always have a little crumblies at the bottom.